morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only, that's hot, live past crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning. Good morning. Getting everybody ready over here. Good morning. Let's do the introduction and get this morning started. Okay. I'm trying to wait to we're live. Okay, now we are. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only live past crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? If that's a crooked. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's me. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning. So let's do the induction. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget, we have the books, we have the movies, we have all the things. If they don't do any of that, tell them I said good morning. Boy, I'm really slow over here this morning. So y'all, my setup, I see 3 of y'all. Technically 3 screens, 5 places. So 4 places over here, 3 places over here, 1 over here, 1 right there. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's what I'm doing. It's going to be okay. So I hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was meaningful to you. And if it wasn't, please leave it for somebody else. But if it was, please let me know. And I hope that you were able to use that. And one thing I forgot to mention yesterday that I said, y'all remind me, y'all, we just have a hot lime water in our mug this morning, is my friend from 8th grade passed away. Y'all remember me telling you the story about my best friend Angie. And then when I moved away, when my parents got divorced, I moved to another school. And there was this little girl, her name was Becky, and she took me in and became my friend in 8th grade. And she was a nice, we were friends all throughout high school. We grow up, you go your own separate ways. And we found each other about a year or 2 ago. But I hadn't heard from her recently. And she passed away. And it was sad, because it was because of abuse. And her death was a result of that. And so my prayers go out to her. And sometimes people affect you even more than you would ever know. Like that hit me kind of hard, because I just wasn't expecting it at all. And people come into your life for a reason. So my prayers to her children. And yeah, it gives you a sense of renewed enthusiasm, which here's the thing. Life itself should be enjoyable without bad things happening to make it a renewed thing. Like, well, somebody died, so now I'm on it. And oftentimes that's what we do. I don't want to live like that. I want to be excited about life. And 9 times out of 10, I am. I want to be excited about life, period. Not because something bad happened and now I want to be excited about it. So that's not it. But my prayers with her family, her children. She had 3 children are with her. So let's talk about today. I want to, like we talked about I am yesterday, and we talked about commanding. I want to talk about that the grasshopper and the giant are the same. The grasshopper and the giant are the same. So with the I am statement, I am this. Remember we talked about that yesterday. And I am this. And the command that we give it to be so. At every moment, we are both the giant and the grasshopper. So here's a quote I want to use. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. So that's the quote of the day. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. Now, if I am and I'm commanding things, how am I the grasshopper and the giant at the same time? So at all times, am I frozen over there, y'all? Let me know, because it looks like I'm frozen on that side. Inside of us is the grasshopper and the giant. If you've been with the Fearless Woman show for a while, we talked about the giraffe and the what that means. Right, Miss Rivera, good morning. And so here's what happens with the I am thought and being the grasshopper and the giant. The thought comes, we first see ourselves as grasshoppers. We first see ourselves as less than. Right, Mr. Rivera, we sure do, all the time. As mothers, we do it all the time. Good morning. As mothers, we do that all the time. We put our children first. Not saying that that's wrong, not saying that's right. I'm just saying at all times we put other people first. And what we can only be to others what we are first to ourselves. So if I love myself first, I can give more love to those around me. Okay? So if I'm the grasshopper and I'm the giant. So the first thought I'm going to have is that I'm the grasshopper. That who am I to be doing all of this? It is in the awareness of the I am statement that I become the giant. Now, the giant, as you're becoming the I am statement, the giant is that dream, aspiration, and thought that you have. So if you feel like, and this is a growth process. So if you start out the grasshopper, know you're going to the giant phase. So if you start out with, I don't know what I'm supposed to be. Who am I to be doing this? Like, my name is JoJo. Why am I doing this? It is when you change the I am statement and understand that the things that you're looking at are giant. So my dreams are giant. My change the world, my sister's keeper, live past crazy specialist, sister rise, all of that is giant, right? Because I'm assuming I'm a grasshopper. That is, I am nothing, I am not lovable, I'm not this. The minute I command something and my I am changes, this is what happens. You now become the giant, and the very thing that you want, that you desire, that you command is now the grasshopper. You have now flipped the switch, and you are the one that is in complete control of what is about to take place. If you want this dream, this aspiration, if you want the home, if you want to be the millionaire, if you want to be the changer for your family, whatever it is that you desire, once you understand the I am statement, you are now the giant. You are now the curator, the director of that thought. Your thought now is a grasshopper to you. Y'all with me? So if I'm the giant in this phase and I'm commanding things and my thoughts, which are my subconscious mind, of what I really want, and I understand the I am statement, then everything comes under the giant. Now, here's the hard part, is when we flip-flop between giant and grasshopper. You cannot sit in both seats. Your butt ain't big enough. Something's going to hang out. Something's going to drop off. You can't hold negative and positive. You can't be complaining and approving at the same time. And it will cause turmoil and chaos in your mind. The whirlwind of insanity that will ensue when you don't have a clear mind will have you thinking that you should just be, number one, you're crazy, and that I should just be by myself because all of this is crazy. No, it's not crazy. You have two opposing thoughts, two opposing ways of living, trying to dwell in the same place, trying to understand the I am statement, trying to live, trying to do all the things, and that is what's causing the chaos. Y'all with me? So as you are understanding where you are in this moment, if you are the giant or the grasshopper, and here's the thing, as you grow, you will always find yourself in the grasshopper phase. Okay? Meaning, as you grow mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, you will find yourself in a grasshopper phase. Meaning, oh my Lord, I grew past all of that. Do you think I can get past that? Yes. You will then have another I am moment about that thing. You will then become the giant in it instead of the grasshopper. Think about it this way. Let's use JoJo. When I was making $8.95 when I first started in healthcare 22 years ago, I assumed that that's all I could do. That's what I assumed. I assumed that's all I could do. I was a grasshopper in my thinking. The minute I am changed in me, I am enough, I can make more, is the minute I became the giant. It's the minute I jumped, listen, from 8 to 12. At the $12.95 mark, I was a grasshopper again. Like, but this is enough. Who am I to ask for more? My question is, who are you not to ask for more? So at $12.95, when I began to say I am worth more, I was becoming a giant. And the minute I understood that statement, and I became a giant to this, and it came under me, I jumped to the next level. Then it was 20. We was at the 20 level, grasshopper, change your mindset, giant, and then it went to this. Then it went to 25. Then it went to 30. Then it went up. At every point, you will be a grasshopper. As you grow, as you do this thing. You will be a grasshopper when it comes to starting a new venture. You will then you will then become the giant to it. Y'all with me? I'm laughing because I want us to understand how easy this is. So if we understand, please go back. If you missed yesterday, please go back and watch yesterday about I am. Good morning, Lisa. Please go back and watch that. Okay? So that you'll understand the grasshopper and the giant are the same. So with the I am statement, before you get to the I am, you will have the urge, the desire to say a thing. You will feel the urge to see it. You will feel that urge like something's changing. I can't quite understand it. I don't yet feel it. I feel it, but I can't put it into words. You will have that urge and that desire. The minute the thought, the subconscious mind becomes clear and you're at the I am stage, and You're at which one you're about to be, and you're commanding a thing. This is where you're at the grasshopper phase. As you become the giant to it and understand what's coming out of your mouth next is what's going to happen. This is you being fruitful and multiplying the thing. It starts with an urge. The urge becomes a word. You have to declare it with I am. It is a command. You then are you're at that, the urge is kind of the grasshopper phase where you're like, who am I to be changing this? Who am I to want more out of a relationship? Who am I to want more out of a friendship? Who am I to want more out of this career? Grasshopper phase. Is it me that needs to do this? Grasshopper phase. The minute I step into, I am this person. I am deserving of love. I am deserving of this relationship. I am deserving of this thing. You are now commanding it. So now that word, that urge, which has become a word, you have commanded it. It must be fruitful and multiply. But you've got to stand in the I am statement as if it is as real as the foundations of the earth. Meaning you cannot at no point say, I know I said I am, but I don't know. There's no room for that on this side of I am. I stand with the understanding that I said I am. I commanded a thing. I'm in my giant phase. The grasshopper now is under the giant. I will be fruitful. Being fruitful is you multiplying your thoughts. The more you grow, the more this will evolve. You'll find yourself in grasshopper phase, giant, grasshopper, giant. And you will grow more and more as you work through this process. Y'all with me? Is this making sense? So the more you become the giant of the thing, right? You know, I had to take my notes, so I don't want to leave nothing out. The more you become the giant of the thing, the smaller what you were looking to manifest or come about or believing for, the smaller it gets to the point where it has no other option than to be in front of you. Put this as the same with a problem. If I'm the giant and my problem is a grasshopper, the more I understand my role as a giant, the more I understand how I'm standing in the I am statement, the less I can relate to the grasshopper. The less I can relate to the being broke. The less I can relate to I don't have. The less I can relate to this doesn't make sense. I can't relate to that because I'm in the giant phase. I was once a grasshopper, giant, grasshopper, giant. It's different phases to it. But the minute I understand that if I take my focus off of that thing, remember we talked about that thing you attain and you look for, the minute this becomes so. So that the grasshopper, whatever it is no longer my concern because I'm in my giant phase. I'm standing in the I am phase. I am this. I am that. When you stand in that, the grasshopper becomes less and less important. Because now the question becomes, why are you concerned about that thing that no longer serves you? That's a good question. Can you pull that door up, please? So if I'm no longer concerned about that thing, if I'm in the giant phase, right, and I'm no longer concerned about grasshopper things on this level, what does that leave you to focus on? Standing completely in your I am state. Understanding that I am this. I am capable of love. I am worthy. I am abundance. I am life. I am whatever it is. You stand fully in it. Some of us, listen, this is why change is hard. And I'm talking about JoJo. This is why I changed it all. Good morning, Janice. Is that some of us, we honor our limitations. We honor them. We never look at what could be because I'm so busy honoring my limitations of being a grasshopper. I can't be a giant, JoJo, because my legs are not fully extended. I can't be a grasshopper, JoJo, because I'm down here and giants are up here in the space between here and here. Friend, this is the space between your prayer and the things that you want to say come to pass. In between here lives your faith. In between here lives what you know to be true. That's where you stand, in between this spot. So the more that I'm focused on this, the less what's down here concerns me. I no longer concern myself with, oh, I'm a grasshopper and I can't stand upright. That's not my business. My concern is this. My concern is that I commanded it. I'm the giant. And as the giant, the grasshopper is now under the submission, the command of the giant. This is fear, anger, frustration, sadness, depression, lack of financial. This is this. But when you stand in the giant phase, you've got to stand on it as if it is the foundation of the earth. I can't. And it really hit me yesterday. Good morning, Margaret. It really hit me as I was driving to work. And if y'all missed yesterday's show, please go back and watch it. Yesterday's show was really good. When I started on this journey 17 years ago, and I assumed I was a grasshopper because I've been abused. Nobody's going to love me. I am unlovable. I can't make any money. I'm not worthy of financial blessings. I got to live in this house. I'm not worthy of a nice home. The minute I switched over to this I am, and we did the command, and we commanded the thing, and we lived on this side. This is what happened. I know I drove people crazy, and I don't know if I can put this in simpler terms. Go back and watch the video we talked about obtain what you think about. I held so fast to being the giant. I could not comprehend a grasshopper's life anymore. I could not, even though I may have been in my grasshopper phase. I refused to believe that I had to stay there. So I began to think as this was already so. I began to think as if the giant was already so. I am abundant. I am free to live. I am free to be loved. I can love. I am love. I am light. I am all the things. And I focused so intently on that thing that being a grasshopper never crossed my mind anymore. So when somebody came and said, hey, you know you're a grasshopper, I looked at them like they was crazy. No, I'm a giant. I am this thing. You may connect on this, but you're not here. Come on, Miss Janice, right? Listen, the minute I understood that and I concentrated on this, the giant phase, this is the house of abundance. I am the only live past crazy specialist. I don't live in it. The more you focus on that. Now listen, as we grow, we will become the grasshopper again. As you get to another level, as you're doing the work of you, you'll get to another phase where you're like, my Lord, do I have to work through this again? You're in the grasshopper phase. But no, the minute you say I am growing through this. This is not who I am. I'm going to understand this concept because as a giant, that's what I do. The next level, you're a grasshopper because you're learning something different. So the grasshopper and the giant reside in the same people. It is us who decides who shows up every day. If you honor your limitations, I will never win against you. Y'all remember the team abundance? Y'all been with me for a while. We will execute, we will play, we will win. Those are the three things that we speak a moving language over here. Okay? We speak differently than the whole world. We breathe differently. We think differently. We hold ourselves differently because we're trying to win championships. And as we're trying to win championships and understand how winners think and what winners do, we leave clues for those behind us, right? But as we are doing that over here on Team Abundance, we understand that Team Lack is doing the exact same thing. Team Lack is sending out their best player. So you on Team Abundance, when you meet someone who is adamant about honoring their limitations, they can kill you being a grasshopper. Because if you're not secure enough as a giant, they will kill you being a grasshopper because they will make you question who you are. Team Lack didn't come to play just like Team Abundance didn't come to play. I am negative and I am positive. They are both strong in their own right. And when you honor your own limitations, and you don't have to justify them with me, I'm JoJo. That's a conversation you have to have with yourself. But as you're having that conversation with yourself, why am I, JoJo, honoring this limitation of what I can and cannot do? That is you justifying why you're deciding to be a grasshopper. This is a judgment-free zone. There are plenty of times where I decide I want to be the grasshopper. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to be the giant. Then I also have to be okay with the vision of what the grasshopper sees. The turtle will never see what the giraffe sees. The giraffe can't bend his neck for a whole reason because he was never meant to be down there. He can't possibly be on the level of a turtle. They're in two different places. Whichever one you decide to be, you're free to be. They both reside in you. It both requires an I am statement. It both requires a command. It requires a change in the atmosphere. It requires a change of mindset and of thought. If you honor the limitation of being a grasshopper, I'm still learning, and we're not going into I have learned, then the grasshopper is where you'll stay. Everything will be giant. The problem will always be bigger than you. You will never solve it. The relationship will never get better. You will never fix it. Chaos will ensue every day. Ask me how I know. I lived there until I understood that for myself. Because when I was determined to be a grasshopper, right, nothing made sense in my world. Nothing. But when I understood the I am statement and stood in that, then the grasshopper problems that I thought I had became subjected to the giant that I was. So as you are growing and going and doing, and you're understanding the importance of I am, right? I want you to understand the importance of who you are, the importance and power of being both a grasshopper and a giant. There's power in both, okay? There's power in being a grasshopper because it takes a hell of a lot of work to stay where you are. It takes a lot of work to stay where you are. It is power in being a giant. It takes a hell of a lot of work to be a giant. It takes a lot of work to be a giant. And so if they both require work, do I honor my limitations or do I honor the possibilities? And it is often in the possibilities is where we get most afraid. That's where we're overwhelmed because we're so used to grasshopper phase. We don't even know if giant phase will fit us. So in this great, most amazing morning, and it's going to be the best day ever. And listen, you don't even have to ask yourself that question, okay? If it's grasshopper and giant, JoJo, it's not that serious. I just want to give, a different way to think about it. Because we're going to go deeper into understanding the I am statement, what it looks like, what it truly is, how it resides, how it lives, how it breathes. We're going to move deeper into that. But I need you to get a visual, because some people are visual people. Like, me too, Miss Janice. And we shall be, and it is so. A to the man. So as you are understanding, giant and grasshopper reside in the same people. The minute I understand I am, and I am a giant, everything else, grasshopper phase, is subject to me. It begins with the urge and a thought or a desire. You woke up this morning with the desire to change the world. You woke up with the urge this morning to tell somebody your story. You woke up with the urge or desire to do whatever it is that's on your mind. You need to say, I am this thing. There's one of my quotes here. I think it's still here. Somebody's waiting on me to move. They will not move until I move. Meaning somebody's waiting on me to open up my mouth first so that they know it's okay to move. If I leave with that giant thought, everything else falls up under it. Please insert Audre Lorde's quote. Y'all know I love that quote. When I'm focused on my mission, then I become less and less afraid. Like, I love that quote. Then I become less and less afraid. When I dare to be powerful, to use the strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. When I understand that I am the giant, right? When I understand that I am the giant, and it's okay that I'm growing out of grasshopper phase. It's okay to grow out of that. Then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. Because I'm focused on this. The more I'm focused on this I am statement in giant phase, the less this concerns me. Then I stand in my true power. Whatever that is. So today, as you dare to be powerful, as you're changing your I am statement to use it in the strength of the service of your vision, it starts with an urge, then it becomes a word, it becomes an I am statement. You begin to command it, right? You may be a giant in the beginning because you're learning it. I mean a grasshopper, but eventually you'll become the giant in it. That's where it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. These things here, I don't focus on. So on those days, listen. Y'all, on those days when it was really, really hard, like I said, when I didn't have gas to get home, I chose to stay in giant mode. I didn't choose to stay in grasshopper. I held on to giant mode like nobody's business. And I didn't even think about any other option other than winning. I couldn't comprehend it. I can't understand living any other way than peaceful. And here's the thing. You know that feeling you get when your stomach hurts and it starts to churn and you get that you get spit in your mouth and your heart starts to race and you feel like, oh Lord, I'm about to make a big change. Ooh, am I making the right decision? Is this right for me? Can I do this? Can I not do that? Don't allow that to stop you. You need to allow that feeling to propel you forward so that you can say what you need to say, do what you need to do. It is in that moment that you are transitioning from your grasshopper phase to that giant phase. Right there is where the transition happens. That's when you ride that wave of, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't understand, and you step into the giant phase. And what you will find is that it is freer and clearer over there than you ever imagined. Then you wonder, how could you possibly worried about grasshopper things when you was a damn giant? In the middle of it, you got to stand on that I am statement as if it is real as the foundations of the earth, because it is. So on those days when it was rough, I didn't think, I couldn't comprehend any negative. It couldn't reside in me. I couldn't live both. I couldn't live both I am statements. And I chose to be all in the I am a giant, I am abundance, I am love. I chose to live so far into that that the negative I am, the grasshopper phase, I never looked that way because I couldn't comprehend it anymore. It didn't make sense to me, which will also happen as you're growing with your family and your friends. The conversations will change. They will change and you will feel awkward. You will feel awkward. You will feel out of place. You will feel like you're talking like you're from Mars and they are from Jupiter or Pluto. Is Pluto even a planet anymore? But you'll feel like nobody's on the same page as you. Grasshopper, giant. I am. Command, attention, urge, word, what I said. It is now obligated to be fruitful and multiply. It has no other option. So on this great day, if you missed yesterday's show was I Am. That's what we talked. Please go back and watch yesterday. I went back and watched yesterday's show and took notes. I don't know who was talking during that time, but I took notes from that person. So on this great, most amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period. Literally, peaceful, period. Because there's nothing after that. You can argue for your limitations. You don't have to justify that with anybody but you. If you get angry when you start to justify your limitations, it is because you have decided that you are stuck being a grasshopper. Not because somebody told you had to. I believe you're a giant. I believe that in your grasshopper phase right now, as you're transitioning, that you can stand tall, head up, shoulders back, and make that change. I want you to have the courage to live life. And some of us don't have that courage. So, thank you, Tammy. I won't keep you guys because I could talk about this forever. We'll talk more on it tomorrow. So I hope you have the most amazing day. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all of them over there. YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the podcast. Make sure you subscribe over there so that you can get the show even if you're going to be on the go. That rhyme. I cracked myself up. So on this great day, I want you to have the most, listen, I say that so much that now when people call me, they lead off with, it's going to be the most amazing day ever. Even when they say that to me, even when they're getting ready to complain, they say, before I say anything, it's going to be the most amazing day ever. Today's going to be a good day. But let me tell you, it's okay. It's going to be a good day. So have a great, most amazing day. And I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.